Do you know what's just crazy and quite unexplainable? The amount of bunkers we have in ancient India, and these are clear examples of the level of carving and polishing which was made, which established that these particular buildings, or better said, locations, storerooms, places within a mountain, were made for a specific reason, most likely to protect them against certain outside danger, such as potential nuclear wars or something of the sort. These places are really interesting, and if you guys remember, or some of you guys read the Mahabharata, in those legends they actually talk about nuclear wars happening in ancient India, when obviously the ancient gods fought a quite strong and powerful war. And this just makes you think for a second, why is there such a thing as a crazy polishing technology which existed back in the day in ancient India, which of course shows that the workings of these stones is just to a completely new level. Guys, nobody has any clue. This is again one of those unexplainable mysteries in India of these bunkers. I call them bunkers because they just look like a bunker so much. That shows to me that yes, definitely back in the past there was a cataclysm which happened in India as well at some point in the past, and some people protected themselves by going and carving these places and living there, or maybe storing there some of their most important things like food or something for a long time to avoid it going bad. Who knows, there could be a number of reasons, but most importantly, more important than why they created them, the question is, what material or technology did they even use, alright, to create such an amazing, exquisite polishing of a cave? Now I want you to look at this very interesting map from the 17th century. Now the most exciting thing about this particular map is that it depicts certain types of animals which look like chimeras, unicorns, animals with human heads, sort of like almost animals which looks like dragons, rhinos which have a completely different skin and outer shell which is just absolutely crazy if compared with what we have today. These, all of them, looks like they lived where? In Antarctica, most likely the South Pole. Back in the day, in the 17th century, it seems that this place was full with life, but now it's completely covered by ice. The question is, guys, what happened in the last 400 years which caused effectively the whole area in Antarctica to be covered by ice? Maybe a change of poles, maybe a reset, maybe some sort of phenomena which forcefully caused the climate to change radically on the planet. This also depicts something very interesting, because also in the 17th century many maps of Africa show also that there were many more cities in Africa, and the Sahara Desert doesn't even show up in many of the maps from the 17th and the 16th century, which raises even further questions about what happened back in the day in this part of the world. Something quite shocking, guys. Very interesting. The first thing you could think about is that, of course, you would say that, well, this is just someone who had no idea what they were drawing. But remember, this is the 17th century. People back here during this time had quite advanced knowledge and technology to do maps. And the second part is, why go over the bordering part of actually drawing pictures of these unique animals just for fun? I mean, the rest of the world didn't have that on the map, so putting them there was an indication that they discovered these new species in Antarctica at some point in the 17th century, and they wanted to make sure that the world sees them as they are. This is, of course, my personal vision of this particular strange but at the same time very interesting phenomena. Nonetheless, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe that this is just the fantasy and pure depiction of someone who just fantasizes with these particular beasts or monsters? Or is it in reality what I believe it is to be, which is the fact that these people back in the 17th century, they saw these creatures and they tried to depict them the best they could on the map. Maybe as a warning to everyone else, because maybe they were dangerous, maybe they were, I don't know, like behaving very weirdly or something, and they wanted to make sure that the people were really made aware of them when they were living in Antarctica. But again, the question is as follows: what happened back in the day, and why is all this flora and fauna completely disappeared? Seems like the global resets are happening again and again on the entire planet, and this, one more time guys, is a quite clear proof of this.